we'll cut there with the football, and we'll get into some fan questions.
Okay. Wow. Fan questions.
I'll do the first one.
Okay.
At CDub49
Mhm.
says, Fred, what was the hottest and coldest game you ever played in? Sydney, what was the most extreme weather you've attended? I'll start this one off because I already know. The
Mm.
hottest was definitely a preseason game, not this preseason, but the year before. It was a preseason game, and
Here?
yes,
Oh
it was
wow.
here, and I remember because we were sitting out like in the family section, and I wore like I wore a tube top
Mhm.
and a pair of like skinny jeans that were like cropped. Like I wasn't like I had a lot of clothes on, you know.
Yeah.
It was back in my slim trim days, and I was
Okay.
just sweating. I had never been hotter. It was out of control. I remember that one just being really nuts, really, really, really hot.
Okay.
And
Wow.
then the coldest was definitely our like the Green Bay game that we were just speaking about. I wore a ski suit to that game,
Whoa.
and it was cute, but it was definitely needed because of the
Mhm.
conditions. I mean, Green Bay, it's so cold there. It was snowing like a blizzard. It was wild.
That was a crazy game. So easily, I'd say that was the coldest game I've been a part of. And with those games, you have to plan ahead to make sure that everything is to a T. What you're going to be wearing, the different type of substances you got to rub on your skin to keep yourself warm, and on your hands and your feet. Your hands and feet are the first to go in those conditions. So that was by far the coldest, but it was the most rewarding at the end when we won that game. So that was one of the most rewarding games ever. And then hottest game I've ever been a part of is actually, you don't know this, but in 2019 we started the year in Tampa Bay in September.
Oh my gosh.
And so I remember it was probably like a 95er with humidity
Mm.
beginning of this football season. And I remember I went out there for warm-ups and I usually wear this little white undershirt underneath my jersey. And literally by the time we were done with warm-ups and we had to go back in, I had to take it off. I had to literally go no shirt underneath my pads because that's how hot it was.
That's how you get acne right there.
Of course, that's probably the first thing you think of, but no, it
It's
was
too hot. You had to take it
it
off.
was way too hot. I had to take it off, and you literally wear the least amount of clothes as possible out there to try to fend for yourself. And you're on the sideline with the fan on you. You're taking Gatorade and water and the electrolytes and trying to just keep from
Survive.
passing out and
Yeah.
cramping up.
Here's a question: would you rather play an extremely hot game or an extremely cold game?
Mm, gosh, that's so hard. I'd probably say I'd probably say a hot game.
You would rather play a hot game?
I can't think. I got to use the restroom. Boy, was that much needed. You
Pick up. What's your favorite game?
had the chills. Um, I think I'd prefer to play in the heat than the
Okay.
cold because playing in the freezing cold is so miserable.
Yeah,
Like playing in the heat is miserable too. Let's not get that twisted.
because like everything gets hard and like it hurts.
The thing I hate the most about the cold games is my hands and fingers
Hmm.
and my feet.
It hurts. Like painful.
They're numb the entire
Yeah,
time.
that's painful.
Not only is it painful, it's just like you literally can't play football when you don't have hands or feet.
Yeah.
So luckily I've learned tips and tricks to try to keep that from happening. But like my hands are so beat up that the blood flow is already like not that great
Hmm.
to the fingers that are all jammed up.
Hmm.
So when they're freezing, they're done. So I think I prefer hot.
Okay, good to know. Next question.
Next question. Uh, at Roheath Canan 71, year in and year out, it feels like the 49ers have the most tight knit team in the NFL. It's like a family. What does this team do to get that sort of tight knit family type feel throughout the team and organization? What would you say, babe? Since you're since you're right there in the thick of it and you see us, you know, year in and year out be so close. What do you think makes the 49ers close?
I think they have a great leader.
Leaders.
Well, you're my leader, so Fred
Thank you.
Warner is a captain, and I think you. I don't know. I feel like your energy, your vibe, and all the other captains, if they're dialed in, um, I don't know. I feel like their energy, whatever you put out as a leader, is captivating and infectious. So I feel like if you're doing that and creating a closeness, then what else do your teammates? I mean, of course, everyone could be like, "No, I don't know. I'm not in the locker room, babe. You are."
I just
I
wanted to know,
literally
like, from the
don't.
outside looking in, what you maybe would have thought. But that's okay. That's a good point. I'd say from personal experience, being here the last 6 years, it's not even the fact that we do like a bunch of like team dinners and like guys going to each other's houses every single day of every single week. Like I know those are sort of things that you can do to like build the camaraderie within a team,
Mhm.
but I think the thing that makes our team close is going through hard things together and coming out on the other side of it stronger than you were. And like I say that, you know, every team is different every year. Like we have a new team every year, so only a select few guys have gone through like different hardships of what we've gone through.
Mhm.
But I'm talking about hard things as in like training camp. Like I think we have one of the toughest training camps in the league. Like as hard as we practice, as competitive as we practice, I think even though you fight it out all training camp, I think that honestly at the end of the day makes you closer for when the battles come in regular season and throughout the year. And then you know same with the type of adversity you go out throughout the year. And it helps that you have guys in the locker room who all care about football so much and truly want to be successful at it and care for one another.
Mhm.
So that ultimately builds, a tight team
Speaking
and
of the training
camaraderie.
camp, I remember this last training camp. You told me, I don't know who the player was, if he's even on the team, if he, but there's a player that came from another team, and that was just commenting on like how hard you guys practice, and like they weren't used to it, and they were like, "Oh my god, like I'm dying." Because whatever team that
Yeah.
person came from didn't do it the way that you guys did it,
Yeah.
so he wasn't like used to all that.
I think like doing that sort of stuff is a part of building that camaraderie
Yeah.
because you want to be able to say that you earned it at the end of this thing, like and um yeah, I think we have guys that usually that guys that make the work environment enjoyable even through the hard times.
Mm-hmm. Last question from James Hatcher 7187. Have you guys picked a name out yet?
Whoa.
James, we have picked out a name. We've had it picked out since like the first trimester. It's a name that I've always loved. It's something
What is
that
it?
ha ha ha. It's we're not going to disclose the name of our child until he's born.
Okay, we're holding off,
Um
guys. So look for the next Instagram post.
no.
Yeah,
um
that's the only way they're going to find out.
Not the next one.
The next one about a baby
Yeah.
that when our child is born. Sometime in March you'll figure it out.
His name's picked out. It's a strong name.
And it is coming soon.
Be sure to subscribe anywhere you get your podcasts and to the Warner House on YouTube.